Welcome back. We're getting right into the viewer mailbag for today. Jen writes in that her marigolds are not so gold. She says, I've read that marigolds are great for your veggie and herb garden. I've repeatedly planted marigolds near my veggie herbs, and they shrivel up and die within days. I'd love some insight as to what's causing this. I've read overwatering can cause it, but when I wait 2 to 3 days from watering, my garden bed and veggies start to dry out. There does not seem to be a happy medium. I read that marigolds were hardy and easy to grow. Well, definitely sorry to hear you're having bad luck with those marigolds. Marigolds definitely need water when they're transplanted. If they don't get it, they will definitely die. Hard to say from these pics when the last watering was, but if you're watering and they die, and if you don't water, they die, there is a third thing that could be the culprit. Marigolds in really wet soil that doesn't drain too well are subject to root rot and two kinds of pathogens. First one is called verticillium wilt, which can affect chrysanthemums and dahlias, and southern bacterial wilt, which can affect a more wide range of plants. The fact that other plants in this picture seem fine, I'd lean towards the verticillium wilt as a culprit. Both kinds can exist in the soil for more than a decade. And most garden websites and blogs I've seen recommend getting rid of the plants and all the surrounding soil. So you could just plant something besides marigolds. The benefit of marigolds to me doesn't necessarily outweigh how much work it is to get rid of that huge amount of plant material and soil. If you're looking to get a way to get bursts of color in your yard and garden all season long, the Wall Street Journal has some suggestions. In an article this spring, they suggest planting an assortment of perennials in clusters of at least 3 plants with the calendar in mind. I've narrowed down their suggestions to ones that could work well in Chicagoland. Among some of the first bloomers are with tulips and the daffodils is the unfortunately named lungwort, also known pulmonaria, with purple-pink blooms atop white spotted green leaves, growing about 6 inches high. The next one is moss phlox, can be spread into clumps over time, which is how it gets its common name, creeping phlox. Their tiny but prolific flowers can come in violet, mauve, pink, pale blue, or white. Appearing about the same time as moss phlox is the 1 to 2 foot stalks of the bearded iris. They're often fragrant and come in nearly every color of the rainbow, but do require full sun. While they mostly bloom in midsummer, sometimes they can have a second bloom in midsummer as well. Next on the calendar, peonies. The petal can come in red, white, yellow, and even orange. Peonies are a perennial that can provide lush flowers in late spring for decades if left undisturbed in a sunny spot in the yard. Delivering small violet blue blooms from late May into the fall are the Roseanne cultivar of the perennial geranium. It's not the often overused flowers on the spiky stems and patio containers you see, but sometimes called cranesbill. These are more mat-forming plants and prefer full sun to light shade. Getting into the summer, the Wall Street Journal recommends echinacea to color your yard or garden in areas with full to part sun. That periodical says the purplish pink varieties tend to survive colder, harsher winters. Black-eyed or brown-eyed Susans will provide some beautiful color for the daisy-like blooms in mid to late summer. Their common name is Rudbeckia, and the Wall Street Journal says while they aren't as hardy as some perennials, it will create some new plants from seeds. And towards the end of the summer, the pale pink or white flowers from the Japanese anemone will appear. They dangle from slim stalks of 2 to 4 feet high, while other colors in the yard might be fading. Asters are the last recommended bloom for the late summer from the Wall Street Journal. The star-shaped flowers that come in purple, lavender, pink for several weeks can mix with falling leaves in autumn if the timing is right. And for while it's the color for the eyes for us, keeping the yard blooming all of the warm season can also be a feast for local pollinators like bees and birds. If you've got any gardening questions, feel free to email me here at the station, tjoyce@wgntv.com. Make sure to tell me where you live and pictures of your problem plants. It can also be a big help too. Coming up next, we've got your top stories and another look at the forecast.